Welcome to the Vanier View, a show where we discuss what's important to you. I'm Jamie.
I'm Edson.
I'm Latifa.
And I'm Isa.
Today we'll be talking about relationships in modern day. I think it's really important to discuss this since we've come to an age where relationships are starting to become very serious. What do you guys think of modern day relationships?
Well, I think they're very different from like 10 years from now. The way we flirt, the way we approach someone, the entire social media. And I really think that following someone is the new flirting on Instagram. Like when I follow someone on Instagram, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time I'm like, hey, you cute, I want to follow you.
Do you think it's easier to feel jealous in a relationship now that it's so available?
Because everybody's lives are transparent. Like
Exactly.
you see everything they're doing at every moment. Like you see when they like Instagram posts, you see when they like Facebook pictures.
And that causes a lot of trouble. Like sometimes people come and ask me like relationship advice or like, should I break up with this person because they're so jealous when I like this guy's picture or this girl's picture? I'm like, you know, if that's your relationship, that doesn't make you happy.
Do you think these types of things are like toxic in a relationship?
Yeah, it is
very toxic.
I think that you cannot have a relationship without a little bit of jealousy. Yeah. And if the relationship is just jealousy, then that's an issue. It's destructive in my opinion. But if my girl talks to a guy, I think I have the right to ask her like, who's that guy? You know, in a very polite and respectful manner. Not because I don't have trust in her, but I want to know who you're talking to. That's it.
Yeah, there's a certain level of jealousy that has to be there. I mean, it's natural. It's kind of a way showing that you care about the person. You know, like, oh, I actually care that the person I'm with is talking to someone else, but it shouldn't be to extremes. And like you were talking about social media, how you can actually go and sort of like spy on on the person you're with in a relationship. It shouldn't get until there,
But don't you think you could show that you care about the person without having to show signs of like jealousy?
Absolutely.
I mean,
not.
it's gonna come naturally. You can't be like, oh, I'm never gonna be jealous. It's gonna come naturally. I
don't know. Jealousy. It just kind of depends on your personality. Yeah. And maybe in a lot of ways also kind of your insecurities with yourself or whatever, because if you feel threatened by someone else, if you feel that jealousy, it might be more not to do with that your partner is talking to another person or that person's talking to them, more to be with you comparing yourself to that person they're talking to.
Do you think that it's possible to completely not be jealous in a relationship?
No.
It is.
It is?
No. It honestly just has to do with the kind of person you're. I have a friend who like he has zero jealousy.
No.
Zero.
Maybe on the outside, that's what
we can agree on something for once.
No, me and him, we've been friends for 4 years, and I've seen this guy go through a lot of relationships, and he just doesn't really care for the whole jealousy thing, and it's more of
does
like
he
the way
actually
he
care
is.
about the woman he's with?
He does, but it's just for him. It's like if the girl wants to go somewhere else and she wants to do like that's not she's happier not being with him.
That's not like jealousy,
no, like he just kind of lets it go, like he's not gonna get he's not gonna get angry, he's not gonna get upset.
That's good for him.
He just kind of says like, like I'm happy with you, but if you don't want to be there, whatever.
You are able to be jealous without actually like acting out. Lashing out.
I was seeing a girl and she told me like, hey, if you find another girl attractive, like, oh, you see her, we could talk about how attractive she is, but I don't want you to go and tell her, oh, you're so attractive, because it's gonna make me like, I understood that it would make her feel insecure. Like, why do you have to make that girl so special? But we could talk like, oh, she has a good, bum or whatever you want to, you know what I mean? But it's the way you approach things, and if you have good communications with the person, then that's healthy. But if you go and you tell her you're so cute, you're so good looking, and it's the way you tell her. If you go like, damn girl, you fine, then that's an issue. But if you say, oh hey, you look good today, nice job.
But yeah, it is. I don't think it is possible to have no jealousy at all.
Well, anyways, I'm glad you guys shared your opinions. It was really good to hear your insight on that.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back.
That was totally fun.
Oh, that was amazing. Do you know that riding bikes not only helps you stay fit, stay healthy, it also makes you look super cool?
Yeah, I know. You know what else? Makes you 10% more beautiful.
Really?
Scientific fact.
Oh my god, guys, how can I get one of those bikes? They're so cool.
Aren't they cool?
Yeah, how can I get one?
Well, I'll tell you what, all you have to do is enter in the Earth Week Kiosk contest. It's taking place April 20th, and what it is you put together a really cool kiosk, and then you get all your really cool friends to come down to the student mall, to Jake's Mall, and vote on their favorite kiosk, which is yours, by the way. And then the favorite kiosk, the best kiosk, the one that gets the most votes, wins the 2 bicycles.
That's really cool.
And all you have to do to get more details is drop by Student Services or the VCSA.
14.
See you later.
Alligator.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So to spice things up, we're going to play a fun game, and it's because, well, basically I was studying for my test and I kind of procrastinated and I just decided to come up with a game. So I googled real laws. I'm going to give you 3 laws. One of them is fake and 2 of them are true, okay? So the first one is donkeys may not be kept in bathrooms. That's the first one. Second one, it's illegal to chew gum while riding a motorized bicycle. And the last one is if you want to read your favorite book in public, you have to do so before 2:45 a.m. So one of them is fake and 2 of them are actually true, like they're real laws. You could sue someone, I guess, for that.
I guess the donkey one.
The donkey one
is false.
That you can't keep a donkey in the. But why though? Why would that be a law? Like, just imagine a situation: you go in front of the court, like, you know, I got hit by a donkey while I was taking a shower. Like, how would that relate?
I think it's false.
You think it's false?
It seems too ridiculous.
What about chewing gum?
I think it's a chewing gum one.
You think it's a chewing gum?
I'm going
I
with
think
the chewing gum.
it's the chewing gum one too.
The other ones sound pretty legit. I mean, people used to have donkeys and horses.
What about reading your book? Can't you read your book at 3
noise
a.m.?
That's
control.
ridiculous. Like,
2:45
what was
a.m.
someone doing reading
No,
a
but
book
it's like,
that has
is it
become
reading
illegal?
it out loud or is it just reading it to yourself?
To your friends.
Okay, then yeah, then maybe it's like a noise control thing. Like after 2:45
But you're reading
a.m.
a book,
What's
you
that
don't
guy
read a book
doing
like
while reading the book?
Yeah, like once upon a time. You know, but let's say you're walking in the park because your child, I don't know, and
At
you want to
2:45 a.m. reading book. I don't know. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want people to be making noise past a certain hour.
So which one is it?
So what's your vote?
I say the chewing gum.
You?
Chewing gum.
The donkey one.
So actually, the one that was false is reading your book. I'm just kidding. It's the chewing gum.
Makes sense. Makes
Right.
sense.
Okay, so the other one is in Florida. So the first one is it's considered an offense to shower naked. Okay. Having sexual relations with a porcupine is illegal. And the last one, it's illegal to brag about how many pets you have to a law enforcer. So those are your 3. Which one is false?
Okay, the third one sounds really ridiculous.
Really? So do you think that one's false?
Yeah, I think the other ones are pretty legit.
So you think showering naked is an offense?
Florida
Wait.
wouldn't surprise me.
Like
Really?
in public, you mean? Or
No, like showering at your house.
Who would know? Like.
Well, if the police comes in, what are you doing showering naked? What about you,
I
Julie?
would go the one I think that is illegal would be the porcupine.
Yeah,
one.
me too. I think so.
Having sexual relations with a
That makes
porcupine.
sense, you know,
Yeah.
against bestiality, you know.
I feel like
Yeah.
some crazy dude did that and now it's illegal.
Why is it a dude? Why? Maybe it's a woman. The false one is it's illegal to brag how many pets you have to an enforcer. So if you ever came across a bunch of weird laws or something that you find interesting, leave it in the comment section below and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Vanier View. So now we're going to talk about a pretty heavy topic that's been going on. In the last month, Montreal students have hit the streets and have been striking against Quebec's austerity plan. The government proposed to cut $2 billion worth of funds in different things such as education. And students are really worried because they think it won't only affect us in our education, but it also affect healthcare and all the different factors that we live through. To make matters a little more complicated, things got ugly when student protesters went into classrooms at Concordia. People saw this as kind of like a type of bullying, like they were going into classrooms and protesting there where it shouldn't really be happening. Also, they've seen acts of violence on the police side. So I just wanted to know what your opinion is. What do you think about the whole strike situation and what are your opinions?
I'm not really into politics, but I think this directly affects students, and a lot of students are not informed about this issue. I'm not saying I know all about it, but I know enough to make a decision whether I go to strike, not go to strike, how, if I would vote, how would I vote, and I think that's really important to people to know what austerity is and how it affects them directly, and I think cutting from education is a really stupid idea, because they say that kids are our future, and I still believe it, and it's by education that they're gonna give a good future. And I think cutting from education is the stupidest thing.
So how do you think, like, by cutting funds in education, how do you think that would directly affect us as students? Like,
Yes, of course, we'd have we'd receive bad education because they would hire, teachers, maybe not that performant. But one thing I want to also mention, okay, if they don't cut from education and all that stuff, how will they resolve their deficit problems? I mean, is it by increasing tax? I wouldn't mind them increasing taxes and, you know, leaving our education just as it is.
But like that's where the problems usually tie in, because the people who pay taxes are adults who already have their education, they already have their jobs.
Exactly.
They don't really care if a kid that lives in a neighborhood where he can't afford university, if he goes to school, they don't care. Like, what they care about is, like, you know, their day-to-day life, and that's the problem. The taxpayers aren't the ones that are
exactly
like the solution can't be to raise taxes, because they don't really, you know, they're not
okay. So
directly.
What is the solution? Because I mean, I'm not like for or against, but I don't see any other, like, what is another solution?
Well, when you think about like a society, I mean, I think the two biggest things to invest in would be education and health.
Sure.
Like, I think that in any society, those are the two main important things. I mean, without an education, you can't really go on with a career. You can't get a well-suited job. I mean, also thinking about the economy. If you want your kids to be well-educated, so that they grow up to have good jobs, and then they can support the economy and pay taxes and keep everything running smoothly.
All of that when the government is in big deficit.
The austerity plan is pretty huge. It just doesn't affect education, so it's kind of. It's like, you know, it's kind of hard to go there. Like you're fighting for so many things at the same time, so it just kind of all gets lost. But it should be the plan should be reconsidered. If they have to do budget cuts, they should reconsider where they're doing the cuts. And
if enough students show up, they're gonna take this maybe more seriously. And because of elections are coming up, they might say, a lot of students are complaining. Maybe we should take out money from this side.
And what do you guys think about the protests themselves? Like, do you think that students are being a little
yeah, it was a bit too violent, but also it was a illegal strike, right? But
well, illegal because the last time there were strikes, they passed a law to make most of the strikes that they were doing illegal.
I know,
and
but
actually most students, they know, like the ones who are spearheading these strikes, they know that law exists, and the reason they don't follow it is because they don't agree with it. It's just like because honestly, this whole strike is just an act of democracy. It's just students saying, like, telling the government, like, we make the decisions, you don't.
I know, but do it properly.
Yeah, but some rules are meant to be broken. And that's one of them in my opinion.
Sure, but it's not going to solve anything.
But there's not just violence.
It was too violent.
But it's not only violence on the students' part. I don't know if you guys heard about the girl in Quebec City. Basically, she was protesting, and a policeman shot a gas bomb, and it had hit her in the face, and now her face is very swollen, and she got really hurt from it. Do you guys think that, like she wrote that it made her more angry. It made her want to go out and protest even more because, you know, she wants to fight back. It really made her want to fight for her rights. And, like, do you think that it's a two-way street, that the police are being brutal as well, or is it just the students? Like, do you think it's
the police didn't handle that really well. You know, they should be able to control and, you know, these.
Well, you have to understand where they're coming from. When you have a bunch of students angry as hell coming towards you, and you do something, like, I'm pretty sure the policeman didn't intentionally shoot that gas thing.
For sure, he didn't do it. But him too. I don't know. They should take care of it in a more responsible way.
But how would you?
But they're political strategies. You get your police to provoke the people striking so that they'll act out, so that they can legally use their force on them. And then what it looks like on the newspapers is students are being violent. Students are.
You think it's the police who provoke?
No.
I don't think it's the police.
It's a political strategy, because at the end of the day, when you see the newspapers, then this whole week you see the newspapers, you see the students are being violent. Yeah. You don't see the students are going out on the street and talking and then fighting for their rights. No.
I mean, I don't think it's only coming from the police provoking them and all that stuff. I think the students too, they wanted to make noise, so of course.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
they want to make noise.
It's their responsibility too.
So I also want to know about your personal opinions on the strike. Like, are you guys for it or against it?
For me, I was totally against it in the beginning. I'm like, no, striking is crazy, blah, blah, blah. But then I was thinking about it. Everybody is starting to going, like, striking, and it's like a way of making. Like, all the students now are together for one cause, and I think it's beautiful. It might be out of hand sometimes and everything, but the fact that we're coming together for a same purpose, I think that's amazing, and I love that. And I would go striking, and if I wouldn't, I would still vote for going on strike. I'll stay home, study, and get a better grade on my test, and get 1 day extra at the end of the semester, but it would help our students and the students that are gonna come after me. I shouldn't think selfishly.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't mind by striking, but I don't know. I don't really see it. There's not really a major change that always comes from striking.
But you can't know if you didn't try.
I know.
We should
know.
try. It didn't work out. We tried.
Like, I'm not against striking and all that stuff. But no, I don't think I would. Like I wouldn't vote for a strike.
Okay.
No.
I respect that.
Well, me personally, whether we vote for the strike or not, I'm gonna attend the strike because I think it's very important that citizens to participate in the whole process. And you know, like we already voted, the government is in. Until the next elections, we can't really participate or say in the matter. So the way that we can do so right now is by going out on the street, because that's the only way they're going to see that we're serious about this.
So that ends off our topic on austerity. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Vanier View. If you guys have any future suggestions for any of our next episodes, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box below. And don't forget, that's what we're talking about.
So I really need to work on my pickup lines. The first one is, if you were a vegetable, you'll be a cucumber.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, because you have something better.
Yeah. Could I take a picture of you just to prove to my friends that angels do exist?
Yes, you can. I'll send you all the pictures you need.
Not of you.
You're not a cucumber, that's for sure.
Jonathan, do you have one?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? If being sexy was illegal, I'd be in jail.
I don't think that'll get you any girls, man. Like zero.
No.
If you really want a girl, you go up to her and be like, hey, if you were a transformer, you'd be a Autobot, and your name would be Optimus Fine.
That's too, like, for me, I would be like, what the hell? What did you just say?
No, the best one is to go up to a person and be like, do I know you? Don't we have a class together? I could have sworn we had chemistry.
Actually, no, you should wait for a person to like walk away and then run after them and say like, you forgot something.
What did I forget?
My phone number.
Ooh, smooth.
If you were a banana, you'd be appealing.
Oh, God.
How about we make like a banana and split?
Sure.
Ciao, guys.
Is it good?
Weird.
It was cute.